That's good.
I was at the gas station. I was like, oh, you know what? This looks good.
While we're off air, real quick.
We're not.
So,
Or potentially
Kevin,
not. Like, just to note that.
are we or are we not?
I'll
We
tell
are
you in a
now,
second.
except
Like,
we-
it's attempting to go
Okay.
back on air.
Okay. I won't give out any confidential info.
I will. My social security number is the following: 0 0 0 1
All right, we're back.
1 0 0 6 9.
Okay, yeah, we're back.
I think that's too many numbers.
Okay.
No, that's
Are
exactly
we
that.
live?
Yes.
We are live. Welcome back, everybody.
Hey.
When we had left off, Seth, you had just done an investigation check on a 20, and I was kind of explaining what it was. Because for the most part, you're not feeling anything different. In general, how would you say Seth's sense of smell is?
Say at the very least it'd be above average, just from the training that they had gone through and like having to like identify different like reagents and stuff for like all that.
As you are sort of approaching this wall, the existing mortar and stone has been there for so long that there's not really any kind of strong smell that it gives off. It smells of just rock.
Okay.
But as you're kind of heading down the way, you are getting very faint hints of a almost like a bit of like a coppery smell.
Okay.
That appears for a bit, it lingers, and then it's gone. And it comes to you in little brief moments as you're sort of passing along it. And the rest of you, of course, are free to move or interact or do anything you want to do. Talk with each other, things out, whatever you want to.
So, what is the plan?
To
Dak.
find the door, Dak.
Would Dak remember anything at all from his deep dive into the mind of Cassowary Devois that could possibly help out in this situation?
Go ahead. Ooh, this is a curious one. Because technically it would be history you're recounting. So yes, I'll do that. I'll say it's a history check.
Cheers.
It's just somebody else's history.
As
That's
often
fair.
is the case, and when you think about how history is recorded,
Listen, smartass. You're right.
History. That's going to be an 18.
18. Look at y'all rolling strong so far.
I've rolled-
Can't last forever.
Wow, that's reassuring.
uh,
Honest, but you know.
I haven't rolled yet, so hold your compliments.
D&D Beyond.
At least my dice light up.
We can all make a history check.
okay. Yeah, absolutely. Anybody who wants to could go
I
in.
guess we were all there.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess got an 11.
So, okay. Yep, you got an 11. Dak, you are not only pulling from Cassowary Dubois' memory, but I assume you are also trying to pull from the recessed memories of his ancestor as well, correct?
Yes.
Because what's very familiar about this wall is that you had seen it from a different perspective from the inside. So these, these same stones that make up this wall are familiar to you visually. The tunnel that you were in had no windows, so you had no way of being able to see from the outside. And as such, it's difficult for you to say how deep into the wall said tunnel was, or where specifically it was located. But the walls you saw in that tunnel did look the same. It was the same type of rock being used. And smell-wise, I don't know how good your sense of smell is. But the copper scent that Set is kind of getting very small pieces of here and there was very strong. It was like pungent while you were in that tunnel, which is also strange because with the nature of how that memory diving seemed to work, in theory you shouldn't have been able to perceive anything, seeing as you were not fully in that moment. But the reality is you don't know exactly what happened or how it works, so it kind of seems like anything's up for grabs. Johannes, you rolled an 11.
Yeah.
Johannes, you of course still recall the events that were happening in Castle Dubois' memory. But in this moment, you can't really think of anything that happened in that memory in particular that is like striking a particular match
About the wall.
of where it is, what needs to be done with this wall, where you need to go.
Okay. Anybody know detect magic?
Yes.
Yes. Actually, is magical vision still up for me?
I was gonna
It's
say,
up for 10 minutes. Has it been 10 minutes since we crossed that field?
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
I did cast it right before that last hurdle.
Yeah, that's I was gonna say. If you had cast it like when you first left the Citadel, probably would have been up. But because you cast it near the end, yeah, that would be there. Let me pop that up real quick. I need to check and see what you.
You're a genius.
I was like, if it's concealed, there's at least a chance that it's
The
magically
main things it's
concealed.
blocked by is a foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, and a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood and dirt.
Hmm?
Yeah, I'm reading that right now. So that was a very clutch
As we know,
remembering
lead.
from you.
Magic, very similar to radiation.
No?
It really is.
It's an
It really
ability
is,
to go
y'all.
through lead.
Really
We're
makes
gonna
you
get
think,
into
huh?
that. We're gonna get into that.
Really
I
makes you
hate to
think
do
what
this to you.
big magic would. Yeah, what's up?
I hate to do this to you. Because that was a very clutch remembering of you that you had cast that spell earlier. I'm afraid you do not see or sense the presence of any magic.
Okay, then in game, Dak will say, I do not perceive any signage of magics anywhere around here.
Well,
Can
well,
I?
It's at least
or-
not on the wall. Like this part
Hmm.
of the wall.
Can I make Can I make an investigation? Actually, trying to think. Yeah, could I make it like a whatever check would be best? Because what I want to do is I want to look at the wall, and particularly I want to like look on the edge, like where the grass is connecting to the wall, to see if there's any like different like evidence of like erosion or like some
Okay.
like grass like treating differently, just in case, because like if there is a small bit of change in the wall after a long enough time, it might cause a difference.
Yes.
Or
Go
just
ahead and
path.
make an investigation check for me as well.
13.
15.
Not the best.
Where specifically are you searching?
Uh. Okay. So I'm trying to think. I can't exactly visualize where this goes in like the whole grand map, but if this was like an escape route or like near the king, like going up to the citadel, could I try to find something that like I guess maybe like I'll investigate like over on this side just because those two are already looking over there. I was just trying to think of like where would make the most sense for an escape route or like a pathway to the citadel.
But if you could think of an architect, where would you put it?
Yeah.
Checking over on this side, you you kind of bend down investigating the grass where it meets the base of the castle. Without even having to like dig up a bunch of it, you're intelligent enough to make this deduction, which is that the way that the castle walls are built, they of course don't just stop at ground level. They've actually been constructed well below ground.
That's true.
You can safely assume that any good castle is going to have subfloors and dungeons and lower levels. That would necessitate that when the castle was initially being constructed, they would have had to dig out a sizable amount of the land in order to make that happen. So in checking sort of where the base of the wall meets the ground, you can see that the wall actually does continue further down. And if you could continue to dig away at the ground and you would likely find more wall beneath it, but you're not seeing any immediate telltale signs of like, something of like a door or anything of that sort. What you are getting as you sort of peel aside the grass and the dirt and a bit of the dust kicks up, you get this really heavy hit of like brimstone or like a volcanic rock smell. Very strong.
Brimstone and volcanic rock. Like right around here? Does it like, or is that like along the whole edge?
Pretty much right where you are at. Yeah.
Okay. Hey everyone,
Yes.
do you want to come over here? There's something weird about the earth over here.
Go take a look.
Yeah, I mean, I'll still like work my way a little quicker, like still along the wall, like feeling and like trying to like even just like feeling for like a recess that could like indicate like a handle or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Dak will go over there to upon Johannes's request.
Guys, do you all smell that? It smells not right.
Smelly smell.
I was gonna say, is it passively detectable or?
Yeah, as you approach, as you're all kind of approaching to reach the same spot as Johannes, the smell does become apparent and it begins to become stronger. Very, very easily detectable at this point.
And you found nothing on like there's nothing, this smell, you can't seem to, like there's no deviations on the walls or anything?
I noticed on a quick glance. I thought I was looking mostly at the earth. I didn't look too deeply at the walls, but
If only in this group had stone cutting.
yeah.
If only.
I'm gonna make a perception check on the wall. Perception or investigation,
sure.
I guess. I mean, if I could actually, I'd probably investigate by like feeling for creases or something like that.
Okay. So you're feeling for creases. Set, you said you were feeling for any kind of like a handle before?
Yeah, almost something similar. Paying attention to, since I picked up that unique smell, paying attention to that more so than necessarily like making sure that there's no like illusion, and just instead seeing if there's a hidden mechanism, and then also paying attention to that
Right.
that smell.
How about this?
Well, I can't wait for
Do
this.
you two want to help each other?
Sure.
I don't need it. I don't know if you gauged from my gestures, but I rolled a nat 20/27.
Y'all with these
Ooh.
rolls.
Nice.
I'm not seeing your roll on here, but I mean,
I roll a real die. I have the glowy die.
oh,
It has a light in
I
it.
see.
Right.
He's off the grid.
Unlike most of us who have lost that light years ago.
Yeah.
In any glow.
Okay. Man, natural 20. Okay.
My epilepsy.
Yeah.
Would you like me to roll another
Oh.
investigation check then, or
Yeah, go ahead since Silva had already rolled.
21?
Hey,
Yeah. Okay. So y'all are just going for. Okay.
Go
All right,
Um,
finish this arc, damn it.
right.
Fair.
Got an hour and 20 minutes to finish this.
It's not even remotely true.
No, I-
Uh,
well, part of it is. One part of it is.
you, both of you, in feeling the wall, the wall still feels the same. What changes here is that when your hand comes away from the wall, both of you notice that there are little bits of residue left behind on your hand. Tiny little specks of what appears to be like some sort of copper-colored material left behind.
And where specifically is this coming away?
So you said copper needle? Is that what you said?
Residue.
Copper residue. It's little flecks of like copper-colored something.
And so I guess looking at the map, like which part was that kind of specifically?
It's happening. You're getting this. I'm gonna say here. I'm gonna say here. I'm gonna say here. And here. It's like this range.
Okay.
Hmm.
Like taking that residue, I'll just kind of like push in the wall. Like if it's not a pull door, it's a push door. Push.
Uses me all the time.
Nothing happens.
Hmm. It must have something to do with this copper. It's just that's what's throwing me off.
Copper?
There are these tiny copper flakes about.
Yeah, I'll hold my hand out to Dak and show him.
I lean over and just look at his hand. Do I see the copper bits that he's referring to?
You can. They're very small, but leaning in close to the hand, you are able to make them out. It's just like these flecks. It's like somebody was like grinding a penny and just like cheese grater style, like ground the penny over top of their hand.
Did any portion of the wall feel different?
No, it still felt that same texture of the brick and the mortar. Nothing about it felt different from the other wall from before.
I thought maybe because I thought about maybe if the door was made of copper, but it was masked by, I don't know, by essentially this grind to make it. Maybe it would have made it similar. You could dissolve it to parts of the wall to find the right spots, but nothing felt different. Nothing was more cold or different feeling than the other parts.
And that smell of brimstone is still very strong in this area.
Yes, absolutely. And now you're also smelling it on your hands too, with the residue.
Perhaps there is like any other door that is locked. Perhaps there is a certain method that will act as a key.
Yes, I agree. It's just what?
Did we see
I mean, there's brimstone,
like,
maybe fire.
guards up at the top of the towers that are flanking this area?
You caught very brief glimpses of them when you were moving from through sort of the residences. You caught very brief glimpses of them, but they were super brief because the towers themselves, these watchtowers, are probably close to 100 feet above your head, at least.
Okay.
Very difficult to make out. And in your current position, you like looking straight up, you're just seeing the wall go right up to the sky. You're not even able to see like where it cuts off and like where somebody would be able to look out from overhead.
Okay.
Dak is gonna look to you, Set, and say, Set, may I try something?
Yeah, sure. Go right ahead.
May you hold out your hand?
Oh, yeah.
So as he holds out his hand, I'm not going to touch him, but I'm going to begin to cast mending or correction, as Dak knows it, to see what happens to the copper flakes when they are mended.
Like magnetic dust, the flakes sort of begin to come together in like a clump. They're attracted to each other and they zoom towards each other. They fall off of Set's hand, sort of congregating into this like ball of melted copper material that then rolls off of Set's hand and just lands on the ground with a surprisingly loud thump. For something that at just a moment ago was a series of incredibly light, almost impossible to see flecks of metal, brought together, it has become impossibly dense, like tungsten.
Dak is going to pick up the resulting copper ball.
It surprises you with how heavy it is. It's the size of a gumball, but as you lift it, it feels akin to like a 5-pound weight.
Dak is going to forego his intrusive thoughts that came at that moment for the sake of the mission and look over at Set. That is not the stone wall.
Would appear so.
So then what can be done to reveal its true nature?
It's a good question. I think we could just ask nicely.
Ooh. I have heard of a story where a phrase was said in order to open a secret door. I believe in that story it was open sesame. Dak looks expectantly to the wall.
Dak.
Yeah.
Who told you that story?
It was. Gosh, I got to come on, not you. Hit for that here, buddy. Where's my history?
Hmm.
It was Viet while we were traveling.
And when they told you that story, did they tell it to you in common or another language?
In another language, but the reason Dak paused was to translate that phrase into Corvallian Common.
Make an insight check for me. If you would, please.
That would be a 9.
Ooh.
What if you don't translate it?
Then the phrase would be after ye said some.
Okay.
But as I heard it, it was also referred. The phrase could also be said as after ye something.
You know, I look at the wall, just in case. Not expecting anything to happen.
As you look expectantly at the wall, nothing does happen. From what you can see, at least.
I'll push on it again.
You feel cold stone under your fingers, but nothing else. Nothing changes.
A little upset.
Well, it was worth a shot, Dak.
But the fairy tale, anyways. He's like the one about the frog and the scorpion.
What does this have to do with the tale of the frog and scorpion?
Yeah, how does that relate to our current situation?
Oh, they are just fairy tales. Both of them. None of them are true, especially the last one.
Okay.
One with the frog with the scorpion on its back. It is very strange.
You know what? That's a very valid point, Dak.
Oh, could I, this is like insane, but I'm gonna reach into my, my bag of spices and like try to like, technically it's a garnish, so I'm hoping that it counts, but like lemon juice. I want to like get my hand like covered in lemon juice and like put it on the wall, just because like sometimes acidity can like corrode things, especially maybe weak
I hadn't thought
copper.
about that. I was actually thinking about acid splashing the wall.
Acid splash could be good. That might be a little more effective.
I guess I just had doubted that it would be that way based on not it seemingly looking like normal stone.
Oh, I'm gonna give it one hell of a shot, anyways.
Excuse me.
I don't have a specific check for
Rubbing lemon juice on
rubbing lemon juice on a wall.
But, you know,
So it really just comes down to is that what you would like to do? You can do
yeah, that is, yeah.
it. Okay.
It's an
like-
attack roll.
I'm just gonna be like, ugh, and then like throw it on the wall, like wipe my hands, my pants.
As you do, the lemon juice just kind of sits on the wall for a moment, begins to drip down. And then you all notice something does change. Where the drops of lemon juice fall, you see it led by streaks of copper and green.
Damn it! I fucking knew it. I doubted myself.
Never doubt yourself in my
yourself.
campaigns.
Never listen to
Everyone
the
back
haters.
up.
You gotta believe.
Does that dripping change anything with Dak's vision?
Dex vision? The
His
magical vision, you mean?
His magic vision, yeah. Would that reveal anything?
My friend,
Right.
where the copper and green begins to reveal, you see in your mind's eye, and also your one eye, very slowly, these cracks of arcane energy emanating from these points where the stone is seemingly being burned away and revealing this copper texture underneath. It's very faint, but it's there.
Johannes, we need more of your lemon acid.
Here, if you mind.
Sometimes there's
taking a
better
step
things
back.
for cleaning a pot. I think I'll leave this one to someone else.
If you wish to take a step back, Johannes.
I will. I'll let
Please,
Silva
Silva.
go in front of me.
Do you have more of this lemon acid?
I have a different type of acid.
Silva, where did you go?
Nathaniel got put on top of me.
Oh,
Oh, sick.
Nathaniel.
As I'm gonna acid splash through the door.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you're fully within range.
I mean, there's a door. We need to make a dex
Should
save.
This is a dumb. I was about to say this is a dumb question, but should I make the door roll a dex save just for
I
fun?
think technically, I was gonna say, I think technically inanimate like that are supposed to auto fail dex saves, but I mean, you know, could anyway.
Yeah, probably.
inanimate stationary objects auto fail.
Yeah,
Hey.
it would have failed anyway.
I
That
mean,
thing had a family.
Doesn't change what it is. Just change what it is inside, Frank.
So Silva,
Yeah.
you release this splash of acid, otherwise known as an acid splash. It smashes against the wall. Some of it, taken by gravity falls, but the rest of it sort of hanging in place, creates this large patch of it on the wall, and you hear this sizzling sound like the cooking of bacon. And you can all see as the acid is kind of slowly burning away and drifting on the wall, the stone mortar around it is crumbling away and collapsing, turning into dust as it falls. And slowly it extends out and it expands like water to a paper towel, just like expanding outward to the edges until it reveals this large arched doorway made entirely of pure copper. Streaks of like green running through it like veins running through a copper mine. It's just this enormous arched section of the wall with no visible handle, just this door.
It's just a sheer face. Like there's nothing that you can like get your hands into to open it. Or
There's no visible cracks. There is no handle or pole that you can see. It's
And we
just like
just-
this sheer.
Maybe-
It was like a great slab of a door.
and pushing this also doesn't do anything.
Dak, maybe try that.
Someone's
got to
try it.
earlier.
I mean, I'll
now.
push as soon as I
Go push it,
see
yeah.
the door. I'll go ahead
Okay.
and push it.
You push. You feel. It's interesting because now the texture is very different. It doesn't feel the same as the stone and mortar before. It feels just like this smooth, porous structure of just flat copper. It feels warm where the stone and mortar felt cold before.
So a push where
Um,
it looks like it should swing.
You push and you are given full resistance. It does not budge in any capacity. I would like all of you to make. We'll have everybody make an insight check here.
Insight.
We'll stir everybody's minds for
That's
a
a
bit.
10.
I also got a 10.
23.
That's 11 on the chart.
Could I? Or oh no, go ahead.
No, it's fine. You've got time while I pull this up.
I was just gonna try something after this works or succeeds because I was like maybe.
Silva,
Yeah.
you got a 23. The acid has revealed the door. You are, and there's no doubt about it. This is the door. This is what you've been trying to find. This is it. And the acid has burned away and revealed the door for you. But there's still the matter of opening it. There's only so many possibilities as to what it could be, how it needs to be opened. You could either try to come up with something entirely new, or you could retrace your steps, or someone else's steps.
Might not be a bad idea.
I was gonna say we could potentially try that phrase again. Now that we at least
Yeah.
have a door here.
Yeah, Dak, what was that phrase you said?
They all turn around to see Dad convulsing on the ground from his natural one. No? Okay.
What the fuck?
All right. Well,
Well, so Dak is gonna look at everybody and say it one more time out loud. The phrase was after ye Simpson.
Dak, when you say that, your magical vision flares immensely. The door radiates with an arcane energy. It is bolstered by your... But it doesn't open yet.
Is that?
Yeah.
Try to push the door if you would.
Sure. Go ahead and try and push it.
Nothing happens.
wait, why do you want us to try pushing it again, Dak?
When I said the phrase, the door began to glow.
Is it still glowing that brightness?
It is still glowing the brightness.
Oh yeah, within the bounds of your magical vision, it is, like I say, it is glowing. It is giving off this golden light.
Perhaps we just need to say the right words? Could I try saying, look up on my notes. I'm gonna say King Lord Blades.
Okay. Nothing happens.
Damn. Just know that we found that on that note back in the forest.
Dak,
Yes.
you hear somewhere behind you. Are you sure you want to make that connection?
Dak is going to turn around quickly. See who spoke.
You see behind you, a bit of a ways off in the distance, next to a this large appears to be an oak tree that was planted by the landscapers of the castle. And there's a very small bench that currently no one is sitting in. There's an arcane lantern that stands above it. And a few feet over, you see a horse.
A what?
The horse
A horse, huh?
is
Not the horse.
it is black, with a somewhat silvery mane. It looks aged. The horse looks like it is weathered. It's been through a lot.
Your old horse buddy that you spoke to on our journey out to the keep.
Oh,
Not again. The Ultra Tour is back.
Dax one eye widens. Shabab? Is that you?
You came back, my child.
That's not okay.
It's good to see you. I'm speaking in full Riedrin right now.
Okay. So for the rest of you, Dak turns around and starts speaking to something in a language that most of you do not understand.
I'll turn around and look at where he's looking at.
You see this large planted oak tree and a bench with an arcane lantern overhead, but no one's sitting there.
I'm assuming they're a bit of a ways behind us.
Very much.
Dak would continue and say, Shabab, what is this connection that you are speaking of?
It's not enough to say the words, child. You have to feel it.
Just Charlie ass.
Feel the words?
The door, my child.
I must feel the words.
The
Shabab,
door.
Leo blurred out.
The magical door.
Shabab, you have helped me yet again. I will never forget you.
Dak,
Wait.
what are you speaking to?
Oh, one moment. I turn back to Shabab.
I whisper to Silva, I know I'm the chef, but let him cook.
Fuck me. Hate that.
Wow.
Turn back to Shabab. What is this, Shabab?
You have all the pieces, child. You need only put them together. You know the words, but you must feel as well. The door is right ahead of you.
Understand, Shabab. I will do
And one
that.
more thing, my child.
Yes.
Fear the red.
Shabab?
Fear it. And Shabab bends downward. The legs crumple. Kind of going into like a resting position, falling to the ground. And as he does, another animal is revealed behind him.
How many eyes does it have? How many eyes, Dylan?
It's hard to tell from this distance, but only 6.
You say it like it's such a normal thing, you bastard.
That is gonna be the through running question for the rest of this entire campaign. Is just
How many eyes?
how many eyes does this thing have?
Every time Dylan mentions an animal, we're gonna be like, how many eyes does it have, though?
Hello, I'm your new shopkeep. Please come in and peruse my wares. How many eyes does this guy have?
Look, that question mainly gets asked when they're red.
Dak is gonna stare at the sixth-eyed, totally normal antlered deer that's over there.
It stares back.
Are you okay? What are you talking to?
Shabab. I turn back to Sets and I whisper in Corvalian common. I was speaking to Shabab.
There's nothing over there, Dak.
Is
What
the deer
did
still
you
over
say?
there?
Sorry, what was it?
Oh, is the deer still over there?
You look back and Set is right. There's nothing. There's this oak tree. There's this nice wooden bench that's been built there. A lantern hanging overhead for the evenings, but there's nothing else there.
Eltabas. I turn to Johannes. Shabab told me to feel the words. That I knew the words, but I needed to feel them.
Feel the words.
I turn back to the door.
Mhm.
Feel the words. I'm going to go up and press my hands on the door.
Okay.
And I'm going to reach into myself metaphorically because I can't do it physically because that would kill me. And I am going to make a mental link with this door. And I'm going to say, after ye, both mentally and verbally.
You hear in your head another voice. But this one is different. You haven't heard it in a long time. Welcome back, son. The rest of you see as the door fades from existence, dripping away like paint, melting before your eyes, quickly falling away until you are left only with an opening leading into a small enclosed room with what looks to be some sort of structures on the left and right, and a barrel tucked in the corner.
Barrel.
Dak,
Very small room.
Dak stares incredulously at his new doorway that's in front of us and whispers to himself, just loud enough for other people to hear if they want to. What path is this?
Is that our way
Seeing
up?
that there's a door now. It's like, good job, Dak. Let's get in there before that door reforms, if it will. And I'll walk into that room.
You will all notice a room magically form into place. Whoop!
Are you talking about this room right here?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, Dak stands there. By the way, I hope you know Dak will forever listen to any talking horse in his life.
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's a given now.
Yeah, I mean, that sits with you, you know. That
Mm-hmm. But he does look at his hands and think, I was in Riedrin. But then he follows after everybody.
I have a feeling the answer for that is to come.
Hmm?
All right.
And then we never touch upon it ever again in the session.
Well, this
Or in the
session,
See you all in 60 episodes.
this session, very likely. Give me another 45 minutes.
All right. Everybody going?
All right. Mm.
And as you do, the room reveals itself more. You are in what appears to be, it's almost akin to like something like a wine cellar. To your immediate left and right are stacks of empty glass bottles, immense in size, that you imagine must have been used for wine, but currently carry only a thick layer of dust on them. A little further into the room, you see sacks of flour and grain tucked away into a corner, as well as a large assortment of wine caskets and barrels sitting to your right side. As you make your way into the room, you feel the temperature change, and you feel the shift.
Uh-oh. Wonder if that's where that lava volcano-y smell.
If I could do like the Dark Souls style, like location title, like
Yeah.
I do that now.
Gary, Indiana.
As you enter, yeah,
and
pretty much.
Orlando.
As you enter Castle Broken Blade.
Ooh.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and just like start stealthily moving through the room, like making, like slowly, but also just keeping an eye out. Just head on a swivel, moving forward to kind of be like the scout.
I'm gonna draw my scimitar and go on the other side.
Dak is going to follow Johannes.
Okay.
And keep his eye out for any more magical horses with helpful advice.
Nathaniel will take up the rear, though you do notice that he does draw his mace and begins to look around, keeping an eye on the ceiling.
I'll have my sword out. My rapier. Keep moving forward, just sticking to the edges of the room. And
When you reach this point right here, you'll be able to see that there is a very basic looking wooden door that is closed.
okay. And that's the extent of this room?
It appears to be, yes.
Okay. Upon reaching the door, I'll kind of make sure, and then I'll gesture for everyone that they can move up.
Alright, I'm gonna follow behind. I'll go to like up against this wall.
I'll go right up here.
Is there a lock on this door?
There is a very basic iron lock set on the door. Looks to be just a singular lock set.
Okay. I'm gonna check the door just to make sure that there aren't any like visible traps or anything to it. Just because we're entering through a secret door, who knows if the door is gonna be.
Yep. So you're checking for traps.
Yes. Is that gonna be like? Is that sleight of hand or investigation?
That's gonna be sleight of hand.
Okay. That is a 17.
Very good. You do not determine that there are any traps. There is no tripwire. There is no incantation. There's nothing of the sort. It appears to just be a standard door.
Okay. Am I able to tell if it's locked from that or?
Yes. Yeah. Part of your checking for the traps is checking the handle itself, and you are able to tell that it is.
It is locked.
Yes.
Okay.
There's no mechanism or anything on the inside to just unlock it. But there is a keyhole.
Yeah, I'll pull my tools out then, and I'll unlock it after determining there's no traps.
So we're gonna do some lockpick here.
Girl, Set is the master of unlocking.
So true.
Maybe. I'm going to have you make a second sleight of hand check here.
Can I help him at all?
Do I add any additional?
How do you want to help?
Handing him my thieves' tools. Do you
I
have
have
any?
thieves' tools.
You have? Okay.
Yeah,
He's got a set, yeah.
I was gonna say because I have plus
Yeah,
8
so,
to
like-
sleight of hand.
because I have proficiency with my thieves' tools. Do I then add an additional proficiency bonus to the sleight of hand?
I believe.
Like treat it as like I have expertise instead of just proficiency?
I think you do.
Because I have natural proficiency in sleight of hand, but then the
Right.
thieves' tools allow you to add proficiency to any checks that you make. So I would just add my proficiency bonus again, right?
Yeah, in this, I would rule in this case. Yeah, you'll essentially add your proficiency bonus again.
Okay, then it's a 16.
16. Okay. Yeah, you without any real difficulty, you are able to pick the lock, and you all hear this old ping sound as the lock comes undone.
Good job, Set.
I'll very cautiously start opening the door, just making sure that it doesn't make any sound. And if it does start to make sound, I immediately stop opening the door.
Okay. It is a very old door, and it does creak as you begin to open it. So you will have to open it very slowly if you want to minimize that from
Is the
happening.
creak coming
Unless
from the door itself or the hinges?
the hinges are old.
Okay.
Unless somebody's got some like magic WD-40 on them to kind of silence that, or some other method.
I have a flask of oil.
Dak is gonna go up, and he's gonna try to cast correction on these hinges, so that they're restored to the their original states of not being so rusty as shit.
Yeah.
Mm.
Every
I
time he
like it.
does it, though, he does visibly wince. If you listen really closely, you might hear something sizzling.
Is that bacon?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you cast the spell, and as you do, you all see as the hinges sort of shift slightly, and they become lighter as the rust sort of gives away and falls away from it, until they appear to be almost brand new. As you try the door again, you find that it squeaks significantly less.
Okay, good. Still open it slowly, but
Mhm.
yeah, I'll open it and then like do like a quick look outside the door without going out fully just yet.
All right. Looking out the door, you will be able to see from your position. You see kind of an angled wall jutting out from your left. That seems to be leading into a larger hallway of sorts.
I'll go ahead and I'll hold up a finger and then just slip out of the door to start getting a better look at the hallway.
From that perspective, more of the hallway becomes visible, and you are able to see across to the other side, which include a series of large pillars running across, and at the far end of them, against the wall, stands a single solitary Warforged soldier.
Which way are they looking?
They are currently looking. This would be to your right, so over here.
Okay. I'll just as quietly as I can kind of duck back into the room. And then just relay to everyone.
Just morph in like Homer with the hedges.
Yeah.
It looks like there's a single Warforged outside of the room in a hallway. There could be more. That's all I was able to see. They aren't looking towards this door right now. But I say, I can only see one. So, unfortunately, I know they have the hive mind or whatever. So I don't know if necessarily getting the drop on this one is going to help at all.
I could try to do some reconnaissance if you would like.
What do you plan on doing?
I don't know. I'll just have to try to get behind him, try to see what's up, but I don't know if I'd have a way to contact you. Could try to distract him so you guys could... Well, no, that would alert the rest of them.
We don't want to alert them at all.
If we were going to try to distract them, it would be better if it was something somewhat similar to that the spell, either using the spell scroll that you got, or
it's true. I could cast Mate.
Yes, that, or I could summon a small creature, potentially create some type of distraction. One that would probably inevitably be one that shouldn't be here, but then one that wouldn't necessarily arouse suspicion of us, but rather just it.
Yeah.
So that is little guarantee.
Hey, Dak. That mental link that you can do, how far does that work? Just a guesstimate.
If I were to put it into terms that I can explain in this language, it would be Dak thinks for a second. I found that if there is a person that is about 5 of me away from me, then the spell can work.
It's a pretty short range, is what you're saying?
I'm not that short, but if you place me and then me on top of 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 me.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's not hundreds of feet.
No.
Okay. What I'm thinking is I can make myself invisible and go get a better look down this hallway, make sure there aren't any other Warforged, see if this Warforged is moving without attracting attention to myself. And then, so long as I'm staying within a relatively close distance with you, Dak, I can relay that to you guys.
See, the link, the person does need to be close for the link to work, but then afterwards, distance is not a factor.
Oh, so it's just initiating the link that...
Yes.
Oh, well, perfect. You can initiate the link now then, and I can go investigate.
Understood. And then in your brain you hear, the link has been established.
Okay. Now I'm only able to use the spell once, so I'm going to be invisible for as long as I can, which is around an hour or so. So for the next hour, unless it gets dismissed, I am going to be invisible, just so you guys are aware.
You are abandoning us.
No, that's why we made the link, Dak,
Oh.
so I can still communicate with you.
Understood.
All right. Is this a solid plan for everyone? Everyone agree?
Do your best.
Agreed.
Do not
Right.
die.
And then I'll kind of go like this and turn invisible.
You all see, or rather don't see, as Set magically disappears from your view and is fully gone from sight.
And then I will flip back out the door, just right outside of it, just to reestablish visual connection with that Warforged. Are they still there?
Yes, they are still there. They're still in the same position. They have not moved.
Okay. I will kind of go farther along the wall this way, just to get a better look down the hall as well.
Further down the hall, you're able to see that it extends further, and there are additional pillars running down it, leading to some sort of little alcove area at the end. Back this way, to your left, you're able to see a stairway, and to the left of it is another door being guarded by a second Warforged. And that Warforged is facing this way.
Okay. And can I see now that that initial Warforged that I saw is looking probably at the stairs?
They are correct. So this Warforged here is looking, we'll say positional to the map, because I think going positional to you guys would be a little confusing. Positional to the map. This Warforged is looking to the right, while the Warforged down here is looking to the left towards this Warforged.
Okay.
So essentially keeping an eye on that one.
Okay. But yeah, so then the stairs are still in their line of sight, but not like what they're directly observing.
The stairs technically would be in the line of sight of this Warforged right here.
Okay. All right, so I'll relay that back to Dak. Just be like, all right, Dak, there are two Warforged out here. There's a staircase as well, but the staircase is well within the line of sight of one of the Warforged. What I think might work is I will toss some ball bearings down the hallway as a distraction, and everyone just needs to quickly and quietly come out the door immediately around the corner, and we head up those stairs. Relay that to the group and let me know what everyone thinks.
Understood. Dax says that out loud and then looks to the group. Seth said that there are two Warforges. He is planning to distract them with bearings of balls. And there is a staircase that we can go to that is a target for us. After he makes the distraction. Okay. Dak then communicates to Seth. They understood the plan, and we are ready whenever you want.
Okay. I will give you a heads up as soon as they start moving. And then I'll go ahead and reach into my pouch, pull a good handful of ball bearings out, and just chuck them down the hall this way.
Okay. As you do, they spring and clatter across the floor, rolling off. I'm going to have you make a dexterity check for me here to see how well you throw them.
Just a flat dexterity.
Just flat dexterity on this.
13.
Okay. Yep, so you managed to get most of them to travel well down the hallway. One of them does bounce off one of the nearby columns, making a big ping noise as it does. And you see the Warforged here. Immediately, the head, without the body moving, the head just rotates in place. The eyes alight, and it stares in the direction of the column and down the hallway. And then you see the body also rotate and begin to move. As it
does the other Warforged do anything?
No, it does not. It stays in place.
Okay. Is its view still like tilted away from the stairs, like towards where that Warforged was originally?
Yes.
Okay. I will immediately communicate to Dak. Quickly and quietly, let's move.
We'll move as a unit then.
Let's just go, 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 go. Dak whispers while making this motion.
Alright, y'all. Time to make some nice and high DC stealth checks.
That's correct. Everybody is going to roll for stealth on this.
Okay.
Aha.
Okay, that could be worse.
Part is hard to gauge like what exactly is going to count it as a high DC. So I feel like I'm like right at the crux of it. But
22.
It's that classic argument of, but would I need the inspiration later?
Want to fight now or later?
Well, that's the thing. I feel like my role is inherently at the point where a lot of difficult DCs are at about this level, but it's dependent, right? It could be a very difficult.
Marshall, quit metagaming and make your decision.
Well, deciding to use inspiration is really only based on that. There's not a time
Marshall.
where you decide to use inspiration.
Don't be afraid, Marshall. We believe in you.
Okay, 15.
Gotta believe.
I got
All right.
13.
15, 13, everybody
you got a
else.
13 one.
18.
Yeah.
I
22.
got an 8. I got an 18.
All right. With immense speed,
Also, who knows what Nathaniel got?
you all do nothing for the moment because now I get to roll Nathaniel's stuff.
He's really he's got that armor. It's just,
Listen,
I know we like kind of did something about that, or there was like a note about it, but
yeah, last session there was a few actions taken to kind of lessen the impact of the armor. So, it is not as negatively affected.
that being said,
Right.
it's not as negatively affected. However, rolling a 2 will do.
All of you successfully stealth your way around the corner, avoiding the Warforged entirely, and make your way up the stairs.
We are in the all clear set. I say through the mental link.
I mean, I would have seen you guys go upstairs.
I don't know. I can't see you.
He raises a good point.
I appreciate that, Deck. I'm with you guys right now.
I understand.
What?
You
Just really loudly.
through the mental link. I'm like, I understand. Your spirit is with us.
No, Deck. Like I'm going to touch your shoulder right now, and I will put my hand on Deck's shoulder.
Dak like presses himself against the wall, looking around. Out the
All right.
mask.
I'm going to move everybody over to the second floor.
Whoa.
Darkness.
And as we
Imprisoned me. All
as
right.
we reach the
Darkness.
second floor. Yes, thank you.
I was ready for it.
With your collective vision, since everybody came up at the same time, we can expand this field of vision out a little more. You all would be see a little bit clearer. And you would of course be able to see where you had came from initially, so I'll allow you to see the stairway there. And because I'm feeling nice, you make your way up to the second floor and you find yourself in a much larger hall. A similar set of columns, a little bit of the ways over on the left side, but this area is much more massive. The ceiling reaching much taller. There is a notable lack of a lot of like furnishings, though below you sits this like beautiful obsidian granite flooring that stretches out ahead and has like these gorgeous bright brass cross symbols etched into it. From the right of you, you hear the signs or the sounds of a struggle or something moving.
To our right?
To your right.
Is there like doors? Or is it like open?
You'll have to move and see.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll move towards that direction, and I'll kind of communicate to Dak. I'm going to be moving to our right to investigate some sounds of struggle. Just so you guys are aware. And I'll start moving.
Okay.
So it's like
Science is gonna go investigate
Over this way.
Science's struggle. He shall be back shortly.
You see directly ahead of you, as well as to your right, northeast, say. There are two sets of doors. Looks like two rooms.
Okay.
Both doors are closed. But you hear behind the door that's directly in front of you. You think you hear a muffled voice. To your immediate left is another stairway.
Interesting.
Hmm. Oh, we're supposed to be going up, aren't we?
Yeah, I'll move right up to it's like sealed in stone.
Why is it raining?
You come to the door, and the door itself is made of kind of like a polished metal of some sort, like iron, but if it was somehow clean to be more akin to like a satin nickel. There's this enormous carved handle on the right hand side, and getting up next to the door, you are able to hear that there is kind of like a muffled conversation, somebody talking on the other side of the door.
But even getting up right next to it, I can't really make out what it is.
When you get up right next to it, you're able to make it out a little bit more clearly. You hear a man's voice saying with sort of an indignant tone, "Really, all of this is nonsense. Why are you keeping us here? Let us go. Enough of this. Haven't we been here long enough? Let us go. We've got nothing for you." And then you hear a woman's voice pleading, "Please, please. My family is out there somewhere. Please. Why are you keeping us here? Let us go."
I sit there for a little bit and continue to listen to see if it repeats.
Make a perception check for me.
That is a 13.
You don't hear the voices speak again. What you do hear is something large collide with something soft, and a thud as something hits the ground. You hear the woman call out, "No! No, please! Don't hurt him! No!" The of somebody spitting on the ground. And the whirring and twisting of metal scraping against metal coming from inside the room as well. "You are to be silent, and you will remain silent."
Cool. I'm gonna go up the stairs.
Oh,
Okay. You're gonna make a stealth check for me. The rest of you, what are you doing? Keeping in mind that Set is still invisible and you cannot see what they are doing right
No,
I was just gonna say I'm going to then communicate to Dak that I'm going to check what is up the stairs to make sure that that's the direction that we want to be going.
Yeah, and I mean, I was just gonna wait inevitably until we heard from him.
I was gonna go up to this pillar and like look. Is this just like the end, or is there more hallway?
Oh, yeah. As you move further down, you are able to see more of this room.
It's a
It is
16,
a large,
by the way.
expansive room.
Okay.
It's gonna.
Oh, I'm gonna go like here then. If this is all open, I just wanted to hide behind a pillar.
I do relay to everybody else that that set is going up the stairs to scout ahead.
Set.
Yes.
As you're making your way up the stairs,
Make it work.
make it work. You hear coming from behind you the sound of footsteps, very heavy footsteps
Behind me,
behind you.
I will immediately reach out to Dak in my brain, like, hide. There's a Warforged coming from the room.
Everybody, hide. There's a warforged coming in through the room. How tall are these ceilings?
Very tall. Beautiful ceilings, vaulted ceilings. I'm going to say probably a good 17, 18 feet in the air.
Not tall enough. People can. Are there anything on the ceiling itself that can like hide a person?
This ceiling, unfortunately, in this particular room, it's pretty barren. There's like a beautiful artistic rendering of some sort of a long forgotten battle that has been painted upon the ceiling. But there's not a lot there otherwise. It's just it's kind of flat.
Dak is going. Are these seats right here?
Yeah, it's essentially kind of like an ottoman or like a long bench that's semi-divided out into these like 3 cushions, but there's like a space underneath it as well.
That goes underneath the cushions.
Okay, make a stealth check for me.
Okay. 21.
Okay. You slide in underneath the cushions.
Into those DMs.
Yep.
Sorry.
Johannes and Silva, what are y'all doing?
So he's coming from which direction again?
I would.
I was thinking of.
But it sounds like it's coming from this room.
Okay. I'm gonna like go hide. Is there like under the stairs that I can do? Can it like? Is there like a back way or like a wall, or is this just like a sheer wall right here?
It's a sheer wall on the side of the actual stairs themselves, but as you're coming around that corner there, you do see more of the room, which allows you to see able to make go. Immediately ahead of you, right here, is another door, fully closed, and there's also a door right here.
Okay, well, if it's coming from here, I guess I'm going to. I'm taking a chance. I'm going to quick dash right here behind this pillar.
Okay. All right, you can quick dash hide behind the pillar. I do need you to make stealth checks.
Okay. 20. Dirty.
Nice.
Okay. Silva, what are we up to?
Marshall.
Sorry.
Don't worry, dude.
I mean,
We brought you back.
yeah. It was really settled on the waiting originally.
I'm gonna sneeze.
Bless you.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
mean,
Yes, so a reminder, there's a sound of a warforged coming from this room. Coming towards the door.
You believe it's coming from that
Believe.
room.
you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get the high ground. I'm gonna fly on up into the ceiling here around here.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good idea, actually.
Absolutely. Go ahead and make that stealth check for me.
Just make a. And yeah. Hang on, put my window. Okay. 18.
Okay. Nathaniel. Nathaniel is going to rush over here. Stands up straight against the wall. Takes the mace out, holds it in front of his face, and is going to pretend to be a suit of armor.
Yeah.
Oh my good lord.
I'm going to roll deception for him.
Oh no.
This is fantastic.
Oh man.
Please work.
That's beautiful. That is
Please.
absolutely fucking phenomenal.
Please work. Please clap.
As soon as everyone has finished moving, the footsteps grow louder, and then suddenly, coming from the door on the far right, it swings open, and a warforged soldier, heavily armored, with an enormous battle axe in hand, steps out into the room. It looks around, sweeping the area, and begins to walk slowly. It begins approaching the bench where Dak is hiding. Dak, from underneath, you see these enormous metal greaves of legs standing right in front of you. The Warforged turns and begins moving back further into the room.
I'm gonna hold my breath.
Ooh. That is going to be... What do I want to make? Con? That feels con to me. Yeah. Yeah, make a Constitution saving throw.
On holding my breath?
Yes.
Alright. 13.
Okay. The Warforged moves down the hallway. You rolled a 13. He rolled a 3. The Warforged walks past you, not seeing you behind the column or hearing you. continues to move, surveying the room. Until it reaches this door on the far end of the hall. Opening it, the Warforged takes one last sweep of the room. And then steps inside, closing the door behind him. Next time on Dragonmark Symphony, our group will continue to make their way further upward into the depths of Broken Blade Castle. They've managed to elude capture so far, but who knows what awaits them. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for playing. See you next time.
Bye.
We're